So folks, in the wake of the impending release of the Epstein files on December 19, notable figures are making unexpected exits from the shores of Tinseltown. Celebrities like Richard Gere and Ellen DeGeneres are abruptly moving, selling their residences at steep losses, and looking ahead with caution. Imagine the scene. A high-stakes drama where reputations are at stake is taking place in the same business that previously exalted them. Years ago, the bold Ricky Gervais, who is well known for his daring barbs at the Hollywood elite, predicted this revolution by calling attention to people like Epstein at the Golden Globes, a moment that made the crowd uneasy. Unsettling glimpses into lifestyles that once seemed so beautiful can be found in newly uncovered footage and photographs from Epstein's infamous private island, which are currently making headlines. But as politicians like Senator Chuck Schumer call for transparency, the quiet exodus of these celebrities raises eyebrows and inspires curiosity about what lies beneath the surface. But before we continue, please encourage us and subscribe to this channel. It costs you $0 and matters a lot for us. Thank you. So let's dive in.
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Yes, you heard that right. Some of Hollywood's top stars have left the industry in large numbers as a result of the growing anxiety about the impending release of the Epstein files. Senator Chuck Schumer didn't hesitate to confront this tense environment, pointing out Trump's recent desire for transparency about the Epstein case and explicitly challenging his intentions. Many celebrities are rushing to disassociate themselves from what looks to be an imminent PR nightmare due to allegations that the files could link over 150 prominent people to immoral behavior. Consider Lisa Phillips, a brave survivor of Epstein's horrible deeds, who publicly said on national television that she had her own list of people associated with this infamous network. It's understandable that rumors of panic are circulating across Hollywood in light of these disclosures. The razor-sharp humor of Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes feels ominously prophetic as he hurled blistering digs at the industry insiders, expertly casting a light on the painful truths buried beneath the dazzling mask of celebrity culture. His comment on Hollywood's apprehensions about investigative journalist Ronan Farrow was particularly poignant. Viewers were stunned by the hush that followed his comments regarding Epstein's denial of self-harm in prison, since those clever quips now have a darker undertone. Fast forward to today, and we find Ellen DeGeneres, the iconic talk show host, quietly relocating to the Cotswolds in the UK, claiming it's due to political tension back home. Although she is officially said to be taking a sabbatical, new reports indicate that her relocation abroad may also be a calculated maneuver to avoid legal issues resulting from an automobile accident. In light of the impending Epstein files, it is implied that Ellen's getaway is a planned escape rather than just a holiday. Another Hollywood heavyweight, Richard Gere, made news when he sold his vast Connecticut house for a substantial loss. Friends and admirers were left perplexed as to why a seasoned actor like Gere would make such a decision at this particular time, only to respond that it was because he wanted to be close to relatives in Spain. It feels less like a typical move and more like a swift evacuation. Eva Longoria, who is well known from her time on Desperate Housewives, has expressed her disenchantment with America by calling it dystopian and advocating for her son to live a life away from the excesses of Hollywood. As she navigates the same choppy waters before the files surface, this stark reframing of her property pricing signals urgency in her escape strategy. Rosie O'Donnell makes a significant change by moving entirely to Ireland and announcing that she would never go back to the United States. This is not just a vacation. Rather, It is a sincere exile brought on by political grievances and possibly an awareness of the impending discoveries. In the meantime, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes are sowing the seeds for their kids' futures away from the spotlight by carefully observing prospects across the Atlantic. Their methodical approach stands in stark contrast to other performers' rushed departures. Examining the complex network of relationships that connect these celebrities to Epstein and to one another is now essential in light of this movement. Blake Lively, who socialized with Epstein and other infamous people at a party, serves as a warning that the darkness surrounding Hollywood may be more pervasive than anyone realized. So, take a look at how these exits might ripple through the industry.
Trump, what the hell are you trying to hide? In 3 days, President Trump has a choice. Follow the law and release the files, or break the law and continue to hide the truth from the American people. Let me be blunt. We fully expect Trump, Bondi, and their minions to dodge, delay, or partially release these files. If they release some documents and hide others, the American people will see right through it, and they'll ask the obvious question. We are all asking the obvious question that looms. President Trump, what are you trying to hide? President Trump, what are you trying to hide? If the administration withholds some documents unlawfully, we will know. If they abuse narrow exemptions to hide the truth, we will know. And there will be serious legal and political consequences. This law passed with near unanimous support. The survivors deserve the truth, and the American people are demanding it. This isn't political. Democrats and Republicans agree. The American people deserve the truth. So Donald Trump, release the Epstein files. Stop hiding, stop delaying, come clean with the American people. And if you don't, the question will only get louder and louder and louder. Trump, what the hell are you trying to hide?
Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know. In the year 2000, I was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's island while on a photo shoot on a nearby island. Who I saw and what I experienced there was a glimpse into a very dark and disturbing world. For years after, I tried to avoid Jeffrey. Epstein's reach went to the very top of fashion, arts, and entertainment. This did not just happen to underage girls in Florida. In New York City, hundreds of young, ambitious women were abused by men.
Yes, you heard that right. Discussions about an amazing guest list that reads like a story of Hollywood's intricate web of relationships have been sparked by the hype surrounding the developing drama connected to Jeffrey Epstein. This isn't simply chatter about celebrities. It's about a close-knit community where anyone may find themselves in a controversial limelight with just one mistake. Just going to one event can put you in contact with a number of people who are currently involved in grave accusations, from trafficking to cover-ups. The shadows created by these gatherings are frightening enough to make many in the profession shudder, even though we cannot blame those who only attended. Now let's dive into the staggering list of celebrities who have visited Epstein's infamous island. For example, Stephen Hawking went to a science meeting there. This is a valid academic justification, but it's still part of a dubious story. There are concerns about Woody Allen's repeated sightings at Epstein's Manhattan home. Then there is Victoria's Secret founder Les Wexner, who is said to have brought 11 models to the island. Consider the consequences of that. Survivors have questioned Naomi Campbell's friendship with Ghislaine Maxwell, arguing that she must have known more than she disclosed. Even Chris Tucker, who maintains that he traveled on Epstein's jet for charitable reasons, is linked to this story, and Kevin Spacey, who was on the same flight, is currently dealing with his own troubles. Not to be overlooked are prominent individuals like Prince Andrew, whose accusations persist despite settlements, and the ties between Donald Trump and Bill Clinton and Epstein, with Clinton taking more than 26 flights on Epstein's private jet, a total that undoubtedly raises questions. Why is this all important now? It involves identifying patterns. As December 19 draws near, a date that many feel might reveal everything, we're seeing a wave of moves among A-listers, many of them selling their properties at a loss or moving to countries without extradition treaties, evidently making desperate escapes. Rosie O'Donnell declares she will never return. Richard Gere is selling assets. Eva Longoria is removing her family from the spotlight, and Ellen DeGeneres hides out in the UK. There is an obvious sense of urgency since political leaders like Senator Schumer are calling for greater transparency. This situation is similar to Ricky Gervais's earlier cautions about Hollywood's darker sides. which few people were ready to publicly discuss. So guys, here you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please encourage us and subscribe to this channel. It costs you $0 and matters a lot to us.